If only I could.
Today I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a complete troop composition guide. I'm going to show you how the troops are layered when they're marching, the order in which they march in. So we will start off. The first troop when marching is the Swordsman. That's your front line, heavy defense, heavy health, Berserker, T7 Guard, the T6 Noble Swordsman, the T4 Swordsman. As you can see, they all have high health, high defense. They basically take the brunt of the attack so that the rest of your troops don't die. They all have high health and high defense, but they're decent at attacking too. They're not really there to attack. They're just there to take the brunt of the punishment. So let's say you don't use any of these swordsmen that I'm showing you. More of the rest of your troops will die. So your pikemen, for instance, which are later on in the lair, more of your pikemen and horses will die. So you definitely want to use swordsmen. The other swordsmen are the T2 and T1. They are all swordsmen also. So if you're just starting and you're a low castle, you'll be marching with the T1 and T2 swordsmen. And then once you get up to, a level 10, you'll be using the level 4 swordsman. And then once you get to 16 noble, 19, you'll be using the T7 guard. Okay? Now here's something a lot of people don't know, is that the next troop in the lair isn't actually the pikemen. It isn't infantry at all. It is the ram. We'll start at the bottom on this. The T2 assault guard. High defense, high health. This is the second troop in your lair, so it goes swordsman and then ram. They're really slow. They have a high troop load. They're not really good at attacking until you get to the T9 siege tower, but they do serve a purpose in the lair. They do take some of the punishment. They're better at defending, so you definitely want to have some of them, but I personally do not use them when attacking. They're too slow for my liking. I have some of the siege tower T9, and a lot of people do use them. They have 49 attack, which is decent, and they do have a lot of health, 32 health and 70 defense, but they're just so damn slow when marching. Unless I'm marching within like a 2-minute march, I won't use them at all. But they are the second troop in the lair, and that's something to keep in mind. Maybe I'll figure something out with them, what they're used for later, but that's what I know as of right now. The next troop in the lair is the pikemen, or the spearmen, or the halberdier. Right here, the T9 halberdier is the strongest spearman. They have a high attack. They have a high attack against cavalry. That's their specialty, is killing cavalry, especially offensively. Defensively, only 49 defense, not quite as good, but they have a high attack, 84 attack for the pikemen, heavy pikemen, 70 attack, but they have low health. Remember that, they have low health, so if you don't have the swordsman, like the T7 guard here, in front of the pikemen, your pikemen will die. They will get ate up by the archers. I'll get to that later, but the eagle archer, the archer guard, and the marksmen, they are pikemen killers. So if you don't have this guard up front to take the punishment, these pikemen will die. And the other pikemen are the T5 regular pikemen, the T3. Here's the T5. As you can see, it still has, T5 pikeman still has 38 attack, 56. Well, that's the wrong troop. That's the noble swordsman. It's jumping around on me here. Okay, there we go. 38 attack, 22 defense, low health, 9 health. That's nothing. So if you don't have the swordsman in front, they will die. So we'll move on to the next troop in the lair. And that troop is the Knight line, which is the highest one, is the Divine Knight. It's, in my opinion, the most well-rounded troop in the game. It has a decent health, a high attack, and a very high defense. If you're a 22 castle, you can use the T8 Royal Knight. as you can see, it's a very balanced attack and defense. It's got decent health, and they're actually a bit faster than the next troop in the lair, which is the cavalry archer. As you can see, they're just a tad bit faster. Um, they have a lot higher attack, but the knight are more well-rounded. You can use them more on offense or defense. But the other knights are the T6 Knights Templar, and then you have the T3 Heavy Cavalry, the T2 Light Cavalry, and the T1 Rider. So that's the cavalry that are next in the lair. And then after that, we're going to stay in the stable, and it's the cavalry archer, the highest one being the strike archer. They're next after the divine knight, after the royal knight line. They get a bonus on resource tiles, so you want to use a lot of these in your resource tiles. They are behind the royal knight in the lair, so they die far less than the royal knight. The royal knight are basically like your second meat shield in your lair, so you want to have a lot of guard, a lot of swordsmen, and a lot of royal knight in your lair. But after that, these cavalry archers are really good on resource tiles. If you click on their thing right there, it says resource battle, get resource battle attack bonus. So, you know, that 63 attack on the T7 cavalry archer goes up to maybe 70 attack. So they're a really strong unit on resource tiles. You want to use a lot of them on resource tiles, and make sure you beef your lair up with them. But they're not quite as good against castles, but you know, they're still pretty good, especially the T9 Strike Archer. It depends how big of castles you're attacking. But you definitely want to mix some in your lair on castle attacks too. But that is what is next in the lair. And then you move on down to the archers. And the next troop in the lair is the Marksmen or the Archer Guard. They're the same troop. I have the T10 Marksmen here. They have a high defense, good health, and a decent attack too. Also, the T8 Eagle Archer is in the same category. They are behind the Cavalry Archer in the lair. The T6 Archer Guard are there also. You can see the difference in the troops. The crossbowmen looking ones have the high attack, and the ones with a single bow, those are the ones that have the high defense and better health. So those are behind the horses, and then the T2 and the T1 are also in the guard line. And then behind those, the second to last troop in the lair, you should never lose much of these if you lair properly, is the crossbowmen. The highest one